Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about the most important piece in chess, and that is the king. So let's learn all the rules and how to move the king, how the king captures, all those little details. We're going to be learning them right now. Okay, so let's learn about the king. The king is the most important piece on the chessboard. It is worth the whole game. The king can move up, it can move down, it could move side to side and in diagonal. So the king could move up, down, side to side and in diagonal. Let's check that again. The king could move up, it could move down, it could move side to side, and it can also move in diagonal. Remember that the king can only move one step at a time. Okay, so those are the basic rules that we have to learn about the king. How the king move up, down, sideways, in diagonal, but only one step at a time. Now, let's see where can the king go and where can the king not go. So the king cannot go to places that are controlled by enemy pieces. Okay, so let's look at the white king and notice where can the king go and where can the king not go. So first of all, I will show the squares that the king cannot go. The king, in this case, cannot go up, neither here, here, or here, because of this rook. This rook is controlling the whole rank. Therefore, the king cannot go up there. Let's see. The king cannot come here or here neither, because these two squares are also controlled by this one here, meaning kings and kings cannot be together. So you can never have a king next to another king right there. That will be an illegal move in chess. Where else can the king not go? The king cannot go here neither because that square is controlled by this bishop. Okay, so let's see now by red arrows where the king cannot go and green arrows where the king can actually go. So let's see, the king cannot go up here, 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 or here. Neither it can go here. So the king cannot go to any of those squares because those squares are controlled by enemy pieces. Where can the king go then? Well, the king could move here. Notice that this square is free and is not being controlled by anyone. The king can also move right to the side because that square is also not controlled by any pieces. So when you are playing chess and moving the king, you have to pay attention to where your king can go and where your king cannot go. Okay? Okay, so let's see how the king captures. The king captures in the same way how the king moves. For example, the king could capture in diagonal, it could capture going up, it could capture going sideways, going down. Okay, that is how the same way the king moves, that is how the king would capture. In this diagram, the king could capture two pieces. Well, in chess, we could only capture one piece at a time. But for example, if you were playing with the white pieces, you could move to this side and capture the knight, or you could move to the other side and capture the bishop. The king moves in that way, and the king captures in the same way how the king moves. Okay, this time we're going to take a look at more rules about the king. So the king cannot capture pieces that are protected, even if they aren't right next to him. For example, in this position, the king cannot capture that pawn. Why? Because that pawn is protected by this bishop. So you cannot literally put your own king at risk by capturing something that is protected. In chess, that will be called an illegal move. Okay, the king cannot capture this knight neither. Why? Because this knight is protected by both this rook and also by this rook. Capturing that knight will actually be considered an illegal move. What else? What can the king capture then? The only piece that the king can capture in this position is this rook over here, which is not being protected by anyone. So if you were to capture one piece in this position, you will have to capture the rook. Okay? So pay attention, the king cannot capture pieces that are protected by enemy pieces.
Hello, I am Maria Glis. Welcome to the practice time for the king. So, in this part of the video, we're going to practice how to move the king and how to capture with it, okay? Remember that when you move the king, you have to be careful that you're not going to move it on a square that is being attacked by the enemy pieces, because that will be an illegal move, okay? Now, let's see here. If you notice, the king is right here. And this black rook is covering this file here. So that means that the king cannot go on any of those squares, on any of these 3 squares. Because remember, it could only move 1 square at a time. So if the rook were not here, he could have moved here, here, or here. But as the rook is here, he cannot go there. So he could only go on this and this square, okay? Now let's see the second one here. Oh, by the way, these practice don't have any numbers because on the book they don't have any numbers, but they are on page 26, okay? Now, here we have the 2 kings, one in front of the other, and they cannot go too close to each other, okay? So they cannot go on any of these squares here, because if they go on any of those squares, they will be too close, okay? And kings cannot go close. So the white one could only move here, 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 or here. And the black king could only go here, 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 or here, okay? Now for this one, the king is right here. And it's kind of similar with this one, with the first one. The rook is covering this rank here. So the king cannot move up. He could only move to the side, to this side or to this side, okay? So that is how the king moves. Now let's go to the practice. Okay, so at this point, you could pause the video and try to do it by yourself as we were doing on the other videos. And then when you finish, you will unpause the video to check if you did it right, okay? Remember, don't go on any square that is defended by the enemy pieces, okay? So you could only go on squares that are not being attacked. So after you finish, I will give you the answers. Ready? Okay. Now, let's see. We're going to check what are the other pieces attacking before we think about where the king could move, okay? So these 2 bishops here, this one is attacking on this diagonal, and this is attacking on this diagonal, right? So that means that the king cannot go on any of those squares that the bishops are attacking. So now let's see, where can the king go? The king can go here, 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 and here, okay? That is for practice 80. Now practice 81. Now let's check the last one for this practice, which is 85. And first we are going to check where could the other pieces move, okay? This is attacking this diagonal, the bishop, and the rook is attacking this file, okay? So that means that the king could move here, 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 and here, okay? So that is for this practice. Let's go to the next one. So for this one, we're going to practice how to capture. Notice it says capture, okay? with the king. And we're going to show it with an arrow. We're going to draw an arrow towards the piece that the king could capture. Please remember that the king cannot capture protected pieces, okay? That's something very important for you to remember. You cannot capture with the king anything that is being protected, okay? Now, let's see. What could the king capture on the first one? The first one is practice 86. And the king could only capture the rook. Why the king cannot capture the knight? Because the knight is being protected by the queen, okay? So you could only capture here. Because if you notice, the queen is protecting the knight, so the king could only capture the rook. Now let's do this one and then you will do the other three by yourself, okay? Now let's see. The bishop is defending the rook and nobody's defending the queen. So that means that the king could capture the queen and that's it. He cannot capture the rook because his rook is being defended. So please pause the video now. Try to do the other three by yourself. And then when you finish, you come back to the video for you to check the answers. Ready? Okay, so let's see. Now here, on the last one, the rook is defending the knight. So that means that he could only capture this knight down here, okay? So that will be it, yeah? These are the last practice. I'm going to do only one on this page and then you will have to pause it, okay? Do it yourself and then when you finish, you come back, okay? To check your answers. Now, notice on practice number 91, this queen is protecting the rook, so the king cannot capture it. So that the only thing that the king could capture here is the knight, okay? Now, please pause the video and do the other five. Try to do them by yourself so you can see if you're actually learning. And then when you finish, you will come back and check your answers. Don't worry, I will give you the answers. Ready? Okay. So, let's see. And for this one, the king could only capture the queen because this rook is being defended by the other rook. And that's it. So that will be all for this video. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you learn it. You actually learn how to use the king on chess. And please like the video, share it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, okay? Bye-bye. See you on the next one.